I think you said last week you hope to have Conor Grant available for Preston this weekend. How's he looking?
No, it's a bit soon for him. He's been out training, not with us, not with the team I might add, but with the physios, and they were really pleased with him. But they just think it's a bit too soon to be involved for Saturday. And bearing in mind, you know, I've got the team that can play anyway, and we haven't got a game for 2 weeks. It would be ridiculous if we rushed him back and then he was out for 2 weeks again. So no, he won't be available.
Everyone else okay? You've had a busy first month.
Yes, everybody's fine. Yeah, they're all in good shape with no injuries from the Norwich game. We've just got Conor Grant and Giles Coke in the treatment room at the moment. It's good.
You've had a little look at Leon Best this week. He scored for you the other day against Birmingham. What have you made of him? Has he done enough to impress?
Oh, I thought he did fine in the 23s game. He's got a really good goal. And he's training with us today, he'll train with us tomorrow, but yeah, I've been pleased with him.
Is a deal likely for him then? Are you looking for another striker? Do you need to add to your complement here?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a potential deal in the cards for him. And he certainly he brings something different. And bearing in mind that, you know, we've got 3 international breaks where Murph will be away. You know, potential for coming back with a stress or a strain. And we've got Dids out until, November. Who knows what that could be? Certainly it's 12 weeks, probably 10 to 12 weeks. A bit of extra firepower won't do us any harm.
Any likely movement before the transfer window next week in terms of trying to bring in some loan players? I know you've been trying hard.
Yes, there is. But kind of dependent on other things falling a little bit. So, but we are, we're getting closer and closer, I think.
Was Martin Samuelson on your list? Is that a disappointment? He's gone off to Blackburn this morning. Were you looking at him?
There was a number of players that we've been looking at, and I've got somebody else that I'm looking at. So, you know, I like Martin. I saw him play the other night, but I do think that we've got enough young'uns in the team. You know, we've got some of ours, you know, like Bishops are still very young, and Dozer who's still very young. And the Championship is a brutal league, to be honest with you. So a bit of Championship experience would be, if I could say it, it'd be a lot better. A bit of Championship experience would be my preference. So we never really got to that stage, and there was a lot of clubs that were looking at him.
You'd take another 42 performances like Sunday, wouldn't you?
I would. I'd take another 42 like the one at Wolves, to be honest. We've had 2 good performances. And I thought on Sunday it was it was an excellent performance. Probably a fair result on reflection. I think we probably had more of it, the chances, certainly in the first 20 minutes, but they showed some real bits of quality that they've got, and I think their goal was a real bit of quality. You know, we made the mistake to start with, but then they did pick a hole in us. So they're a very good side. We had to play really well to get a result out, and I think we did.
2 goals disallowed in the last 2 matches, coincidentally. Where are you on technology? There are obviously pros and cons for it in football.
Oh, well, this week I'm all for it.
I thought you might be. Do you think it should be brought in at this level?
If it's a goal, but then, you know, we're talking about Hawkeye then, aren't we? If it's a goal, it's a goal. If you're talking about offside, that's not in the Premier League yet. That's not in anywhere, just to say it's a goal or not. I'm not for stopping it for every decision. That's the thing. So I'm hesitating and having a knee-jerk reaction to that question. Say, oh yes, of course. How long would it have took to decide on that? I mean, I had the referees look at the Wolves one, and actually didn't. All they were looking at, or the thing they were concentrating on, was Freddie in front of the goalkeeper, and yet he wasn't offside because Dave Edwards had stepped back on the line and played him onside with any part of his body. And when I made that point, it was a bit like, oh right, so they were concentrating on that instant because I think he was disallowed because Freddie was there. I thought he wasn't offside. But if it's that level of is it, isn't it, how long would it take to decide anyway? So, and you know, I said there, some said it's, there's a suggestion it was offside. Actually, I've spoken to David Prutton afterwards, and he said, no, I didn't. I said, we said it was onside and it should have been a goal. I said, well, great, but I was told that you'd said there was a suggestion. So my point being, how long would it take? So all those things, how long does it take to actually get a decision, even when you've got eyes and ears in the stand and watching it? So for goal lines, yes, but how long did it take? I don't want the game to be stopped, Brenner. It could really slow the game up, and I think it'd make it worse.